Hi everyone, I'm Karen Finch and I'm the CEO of Legally Yours, and I'm incredibly excited today because I'm finally getting Athula Bogoda, the CEO of Silicon Beach Group, on camera to talk a little bit about the Silicon Beach Group, the story behind it, what their actual mission is and what they do for founders and how everyone can get involved. So thank you so much for joining me today, Athula.
Thank you for having me, Karen. It's a
I,
pleasure.
I love it. I love it. And we've obviously been working together for a little while now. So I'm incredibly excited to really get to understand a bit more about the story of how Silicon Beach actually came about. So talk me through it. How long and when was it formed and launched?
Yeah, it was formed 10 years ago, exactly. That's how the Silicon Beach meetup groups started happening in
Yes.
Sydney, as merely as a place for people to get together, get out from behind their devices. Ironically, now we are in front of devices, but
We've got back in time. Yes, yes.
yes, to get them from get them out from behind their computers and devices and actually meeting in real life,
Yes.
networking without no great agenda or a plan. So
Okay.
in Sydney, this pub nights, which were called Silicon Beach Drinks,
Okay.
started happening every Thursday night or something like that. And within a few months, 100 or so people were coming in. So it was
Amazing.
so big that Melbourne picked it up in
Yep.
2011 and then grew to Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth, all the capital cities basically. And now we're across 8 or 9 cities, regional cities. And we are taking that and then putting in a big mission of empowering founders.
I
So
know, and I
that's where we
absolutely
are.
love it because obviously that was almost probably the subconscious mission when it started in the first place, was to really get founders together, because it can be quite isolating when you're starting your own business and you need a lot of support around you. So I love that the sort of the mission of, those founders coming together in those early days to really support and network and connect with each other is still the mission that we have today with the Silicon Beach Group. And obviously, it's really about that connectivity, the support services, the education and the care. So let's get through a little bit about what Silicon Beach Group actually does today, because I actually think Silicon Beach Group is one of Australia's biggest kept secrets, because the size of the community is huge. So how many are actually in the community in Australia in the Silicon Beach Group?
If you add all the meetup groups together, so we've got Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth, Launceston, Geelong, Ballarat, and recently we started in Darwin as well.
I love it.
Altogether, nearly 24,000 members. So it's huge. And I think it's unique in the world because I
Yeah.
have Googled, and as
Yes.
far as I know, there's no other startup group community of networks like this in any other country. Because they're all, as you know, they concentrate around cities, and each city do their own thing and
Yeah.
they compete with each other. So this is unique, not only in Australia, but in the world.
I absolutely love it. And particularly in these days where in different states we're going through different restrictions and COVID's having different impacts,
Yeah.
it's lovely to have a group that's very connected, like you say, Australia-wide. So what sort of services and how does the Silicon Beach Group support their mission of supporting and empowering
Okay.
founders?
I would say three main areas: education, connection to capital, and networking. So
Excellent.
education is actually, because a lot of startup founders, as you and I know, they get stuck. As you said, it's most of our founders are solo founders.
Yes.
So they start alone. And as you know, you can't, there's only so much you could do. And
Yes.
you need support, you need mentors, you need co-founders, you need tech co-founders. So where do you find them? Where do you go to find them when you can't pay for those things?
Absolutely. And
So,
also the education around, I mean, obviously we do a lot of the legal education and we get our lawyers talking about the legal things and just simple things like what are the 3 documents or the really essential things I need to start my business, and how should I actually form and incorporate my business? Should I be a sole trader? All those really basic things, and the
yeah,
accounting, even the minimal viable ideas and all, getting that process together. It's not something that we all know instinctively. And like you say,
Yeah.
having that access and that tap to these experts and resources is absolutely gold. And it's all free education that you've provided within the Silicon Beach Group, which is
Yeah.
amazing. And then talk me through the pitch nights, because obviously one of the first things I did when I joined the Silicon Beach Group was I got to pitch for 90 seconds. At that point, it was actually in a pub, and it was the most nerve-wracking experience to really try and get my business down into a 90-second pitch. But they're so fantastic, aren't they? And people love them. Talk me through those.
Yeah, yeah, that's so in Melbourne, what started as the Silicon Beach Drinks in Melbourne became a pitch night because people started pitching, getting up on stage and going on. Some people like the sound of their own voice, so they used to go on and on, putting everyone else to sleep. So we said, no, we need to make this punchy and quick. So let's do it for 90 seconds, like how they do it in Silicon Valley. So it's
Yeah,
sometimes 30 seconds there, but we are generous. We give 90 seconds.
90.
And that
Yes.
got really popular. And we started putting that on our YouTube channel, which we call Silicon Beach TV. So these pictures go up there. Investors can see it if they're looking for investment. Not everyone is looking for investment,
No,
but
that's right.
most people pitch for the very first time in front of a live audience at
Yes.
Silicon Beach. So,
Yes.
and some of those startups that pitched back in 2012, 13 have gone on to become really big global
Yeah.
startup. One that comes to my mind is Rome to Rio. I don't know how many
Okay.
people have heard about it. It's a very big startup based in
Yes.
Richmond, but
Yeah.
it's a global travel startup. So there you are. They won a
It's
prize at pitch night here.
absolutely. And it's amazing because it is that opportunity. And like you say, often it's the first time sometimes that founders have actually pitched their idea in front of an audience. And what I really love is the support around that. So people are very supportive in the community. They give really constructive feedback around, how that pitch is constructed. So it's almost like the Silicon Beach Group is sort of that before you would you go out and actually pitch in front of investors in a more of a formal, you can
Yeah.
actually really hone your craft, hone your pitch, and really perfect that in that way, which I think is incredible. And also you can have asks. So you can ask for a
Yeah.
co-founder, you can ask for a developer, you can ask for a marketing person to come and join you, which I think's all again about that community. So tell me, Athula, how do people get involved with the Silicon Beach Group so that they can access all of these wonderful initiatives that you put on?
Just join your closest meetup group.
Okay.
So this
Yeah.
Melbourne, like I said, we'll put the links below this video wherever
Yep.
we post this. So your local Silicon Beach meetup group. And if you're in a city where there's no Silicon Beach, then get in touch with us, and we'll help you start one. Let's
I love
spread
it.
this all over Australia, and actually it is spreading in Asia Pacific as well. Some of our friends have started in Manila, Philippines, and Jakarta, Indonesia. So there you are. So there's no limit to this.
That's right.
And now, in a way, thanks to COVID, we have pivoted to online pitch nights. So
Yes.
you're the MC, so people
I
can
am.
actually see you.
Absolutely. And
So
it's fabulous. And all the events are virtual. And it just means that we can get even more of that connectivity. So it doesn't matter where you're based around Australia,
yeah,
or like you say, even in Asia, join us. So, if this is, I really encourage you. I've absolutely loved being involved in this group. I think that they're the most innovative, creative, and enthusiastic group that I've come across in terms of networking. So, Athula, thank you for everything that you do for founders. And as you say, the links are below. So everyone, please get involved. And thank you for watching too. And thanks for joining me, Athula. Thank you.
thanks for having me.